Hi guys, my name is Kevin and today I'm gonna review Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, or Harry Potter 2 for short. So here's the introduction. If you already watched the film Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, you better know how Harry Potter lived with the Dursleys, right? But if you didn't, I will tell you. Firstly, there was a boy named Harry Potter that was born by his parents, and their names, James Potter and Lily. Unfortunately, they were killed by Voldemort, so there was just young Harry alone. So then, Harry's parents had given him the powers to destroy Voldemort, and so the powers had affected Voldemort so much, he needed to mark a scar, a lightning scar on his head for the mark of his Horcrux. And then Dumbledore and Hagrid sent Harry to live with the Dursleys. Well, at the Dursleys, there lived two people that were Harry's aunt and uncle. Their names, Aunt Petunia and Uncle Vernon. And also, I will tell you their son. Well, their son, Dudley Dursley, okay? So Uncle Vernon was being so mean to Harry that he even ripped and destroyed the letters from Hogwarts to Harry. So that actually means that Harry couldn't go to school, right? So one day, dozens of letters, kind of like millions of letters falling down from the chimney, is getting into the Dursleys' house. Because of that, Harry could get a chance to read one, but he couldn't. Uncle Vernon got him in his hands and then don't let him to get anywhere to read any letters. So the house got to a faraway island to live. But things got worse when getting there. Hagrid, the half giant and also a half human, came there and then says, "Happy birthday, Harry." Then Hagrid gave Harry a birthday cake and a letter from Hogwarts. Uncle Vernon was also mean to Hagrid too. So when Dudley was finding a way to stop Hagrid, then Hagrid made a pigtail at the end of Dudley. Well, that is one of the funniest evidence that I'd already watched in the Harry Potter film. So then, Harry came with Hagrid to Hogwarts. So they got to the Diagon Alley and got to the Hogsmeade places to get the things that Harry Potter need, and then they took the train and then got to Hogwarts. So then the next year begins. Part 1. I call this part Dursley's Trouble. Well, you know, when it was summertime, so Harry was living with the Dursleys. Well, Harry was upstairs and then heard Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia shouting him to get down. So Harry ran down and then opened the door. So then Uncle Vernon got a plan for the visitors. Well, what Harry says? He says, "I'll better be in my bedroom, just like I do not exist." What? That means he did not have been seen when the visitors come. Well, the others, their ideas were great, but Harry, no. Just because his aunt and uncle were so mean to him. So then, when Harry came up the stairs, he could see house elf called Dobby. And then, after talking a little bit with him, Dobby starts to act crazy. Just like when he makes a mistake, he keeps bumping obstacles onto his head. The first time, he bumped his head onto a closet and didn't make any noise except for those bumping sounds. So Uncle Vernon told the visitors, "Oh, it's just the cat." So the next time, Dobby bumps his head onto the lamp. So now he even screams, "Bad Dobby." So that means that Uncle Vernon could heard it, that it wasn't the cat, but it must be something strange, kind of strange creatures. So then Harry puts the lamp down and then locked Dobby in his closet. So Uncle Vernon asked what is going on here and asked Harry to fix the door. So Harry says, "Yes, sir." So then Harry took Dobby out. And then Dobby says, "Harry Potter should not come back to school." But Harry Potter ignored it and says, I do not belong in your world. Hogwarts is my home." But actually Dobby was trying to keep Harry Potter safe. So then, after that, Dobby came down and then made some annoying things, but to stop Harry from getting to school. So then, one day, at that night, Dobby snapped his fingers. So then a cake went flying over and then it fell down onto one visitor. So then that makes Uncle Vernon to lock Harry upstairs and never letting him down. Well, except those times when he get dinner, okay? And also, that night, there's something strange happening. Harry Potter could hear some grumbling noise. So when he take his glasses and looked up, he could see that it was a car flying all over. What? A flying car? That's interesting, huh? So inside the car was Harry's 3 friends. And they were called Fred, George, and Ron Weasley. Well, they lived with the Weasleys. So, he told Harry to pack up his luggage and also pack up the cage of his owl, Hedwig. So then Harry stands back so Ron could destroy the window and Harry could get through. Well, when Ron destroys the window, it makes a rumbling noise, making Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia to wake up. Well, Aunt Petunia thought it was a monster, so she got scared. But Uncle Vernon, no, he didn't. He ran up, and then while he was unlocking the door, then Harry was getting up the car. When Uncle Vernon sees Harry getting up the car, Uncle Vernon ran there and then grabbed Harry at the feet. Harry says, and then Harry shouts, "Let go me!" But Uncle Vernon shouts back, "Oh no, you bloody little pigeon!" So then the car was getting drove away by Fred and George. So then Uncle Vernon went up, falling down onto a bush. That's what you get if you always wanted. That's what you get if you always wanted to ambush your nephew. Okay? So then Harry, Ron, Fred, and George got to the Weasley's house. Then Molly Weasley, Ron's mom, punished Ron for stealing the car. And then, at that time, Ron said, and then at that time, Molly Weasley says, "It was better to be in your window, Ron." So then, Ron, Fred, and George gasped. When it was time for breakfast, then Mr. Weasley came back. Mrs. Weasley told Mr. Weasley that your son had stolen your car to bring Harry back today. Then Mr. Weasley says, "Well, are you sure? How is it going on?" And then he says again, that is really bad indeed, boys. Really bad." Then Ginny Weasley asked Mrs. Weasley that, "Do you know where is my grandpa?" Then Molly Weasley says, "Oh yes, he was on a cat." What? What a ridiculous story. How could a grandpa sit on a cat? That's the question, unless it is a lion. and then when the Weasleys and Harry were eating, Mr. Weasley asked, "What exactly is the function of a rubber duck?" Then Harry says, and then Ron's hour came to send a letter for everyone, and also including Harry. Then Ron used some powder and then says, "Diagon Alley." So he got to Diagon Alley. But Harry says, "Diagonally." Well, that's a lot different. So he got to Diagonally. And when Harry sees a zombie hand in their place, so he tried to put his hand inside like this. But the zombie hand grabbed his hand. So Harry needed to use all his might to take the mysterious hand out. And then he came outside, and Hagrid sees him, so they come. So then after that, Harry Potter meets Hermione Granger. Then they got all together to Professor Lupin's library called Magical Me. Then, after that, Professor Lupin wants a selfie of himself. So, click. There's one photo. And then, he wanted another selfie with Harry Potter. So then, there's another photo. And then, Professor Lupin even gave Harry a pile of books to read. And then, Draco Malfoy teased him, actually. Draco Malfoy teased Harry that he got a girlfriend. But why? Because Ginny Weasley stopped him from teasing Harry Potter. And Mr. Malfoy stopped Draco. Then he named all Harry's friends. After that, Lucius Malfoy talked to a man and got away. So then, it was time for Ron and Harry to get to the train. But there's one bad news, a really, really bad news, is that Ron and Harry could not get through the wall, and it was exactly the time that the train started. Whoa. So then Harry says, then Ron says, "Maybe if we can't get through this wall, means that we cannot come back." Then Harry says, "Maybe we could just go and wait by the car." Ron asked, "The car?" So then they got onto Mr. Weasley's car. And now, if you want If you want to hear more, then join our next episode, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets Review, Episode 2. That's all for today. Bye-bye.